Hey, how's it going? I own a couple of Markbass 12-inch cabinets, and I'm a bit of a DIY hobbyist, and so I like to make stands for my bass amps when I get new gear. And so that's my project this week. And you can see here, I've got just kind of a small wooden box that matches the dimensions of this. This is a CMD121P with a 12-inch speaker from Markbass. And so basically what I've built is this stand. And we've got some residential construction nearby, so I just went over to their scrap piles and found some 5/8 OSB and measured the dimensions, which I'll put in the comments below or in the description, for the width of the amp and the depth. And then I decided to make it 8 tall plus the top and bottom, so it's about 9.5 tall. So it'll get the combo, and then I also have a New York 121 12-inch cabinet. It'll get the speakers up a little bit higher and also serve as a bit of a storage box. I've done this sort of thing before, and I will drop some pictures in here. I built a stand and a carry box for my Mesa stack when I had that. And also actually got an Ampeg 15E 15-inch speaker from somebody for 20 bucks. And so at the time I was running the Fender Adam Clayton ACB Tube 50-watt amp, and built actually an extension cab for it using that Ampeg speaker, and picture of that going up now as well. Anyway, this one a little bit simpler. So basically, I'm not using it so much as a carry box as a stand, but I did want to give it a few features. And so I will get to the purpose of these holes, and that kind of weird T-shaped hole and side holes and top hole after I get done carpeting it. So basically, the goal is to match this as closely as possible without the amp and the speaker, obviously. So I covered this last night, and I just wasn't really happy with how some of the seams turned out. And I had kind of just freeformed it based on some of the stuff I had done before, and just ended up having to, this stuff really sticks to itself a lot and pulls the adhesive off of one side. So I ended up having to use spray glue, and that turned some of it a little bit white at the seams from the glue residue, and I just wasn't happy. So I pulled all the carpet off from last night, and I've got a fresh piece here. Luckily there was enough for 2 tries. What I've done this time, instead of freeforming it, is I actually measured out how much it's going to take to go around, as well as have a little overlap. And then I'm taking a different approach to the sides. Last night I did it kind of like wrapping a present, where I just cut the diagonals to the handle area and tucked them in, and it just wasn't as clean as I would like, especially because I ended up screwing up the bottom and having to patch pieces in. So this time what I'm going to do is wrap it, and then have a piece that folds out and just goes all the way down. And so it'll flap down to cover this entire thing and wrap under the bottom. So I think that'll leave less seams and be a little bit cleaner, and hopefully work out a little bit better for what I'm looking for. So what I did is I pulled out the metal adhesive cover just so that I'm sticking the material to the four sides, top, bottom, front, and back of the box. And then I kept the adhesive material on the sides because that's where I started failing last night because it was so sticky it stuck to itself. I measured halfway up the box on both sides so I can start it more or less square. It's just got to be close. And then I will roll it and should end up with about an inch overhang when I'm done. So the idea now is that, so the top is on the table right now, it's upside down. The idea is that I'm going to fold in just like an inch, and then fold up and down to the bottom. So I probably should have measured a line so I could cut that easily. But So much better. Didn't need any extra adhesive, spray, and other than these little pencil paint chips, it's good everywhere. So I'm gonna go to the top. All right, so here we are with the cabinet with plenty of time for the adhesive carpet to dry, and I am really glad that I redid it. It is much cleaner. I didn't end up using any spray adhesive, and there's no exposed wood seams anywhere or anything, so that worked out for the best. So I've got corners, handles, feet, and grommets, along with a bunch of screws. And so this is kind of the fun part, kind of finish it out. So I got these handles for the side that are just real cheap. They were less than $2. So I already have cutouts for them. And what I'm gonna do is pre-drill for each of these. And I know you can't see it, but I'm gonna do it from the top here just to get a little pressure on it. All right, nice. All right, so there you go. All right, next up, I got these grommets. These are 1-inch grommets for cables to pass through, and they've got these little snap-in rings. I'm not gonna need those. So the question is, how easily do these go in? And I think I need to trim the carpet. Let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, much easier. Cool. So those will be for signal wires and power wires to my pedal board. So pretty happy about that. Yeah, nice. Okay, what's next? Corners. Okay, so I was able to, through a talk-based thread, find the same corners, and they're linked below. All this stuff is linked in the description below. So this is a little bit of a moment of truth on how close I was on the cuts for the depth and width of this cabinet to the speaker cabinet. So I think what I'm going to do is start with it up here. And I want to make sure these line up so they stack and lock in. I mean, if it's even like a 16th or an 1/8 of an inch off, then it's not going to lock in together. So I feel like the thing to do is kind of get them all set. And then screw them in and drill them in. All right, honestly, I did a pretty good job. So, looks like we're gonna be good. Now, I got some feet. I mean, I know I can just put it down on those, but I would rather have a little bit of rubber personally than just the plastic. So that's just me, but so I went ahead and ordered some feet. Alrighty. So other than mounting a surge protector inside and who knows, maybe a couple of other things, there she is. So, all right, so here is the finished product, just in time for our gig tonight. It's looking great. I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. The carpet is definitely not quite as black, but I mean, that is the smallest of beans, and it'll probably lose a little bit of its sheen over time. And of course, on stage with the lights out, nobody knows, and nobody knows anyway, it's just me. But everything lined up really nicely, and really happy with the way it's stacking. And as you can see, I've got my signal cable leaving my compressor, going through a couple of power cords coming out from the power strip that's in there. And then not sure what to do with my mute switch yet, which I don't use that often, but I own a switch and the amp has a place to plug it in, so we'll see. As for the back, basically I've got wiring coming down. I did staple a little Velcro here to kind of as a keeper for the power cord coming out and the signal cord coming down. And then this is the wrapped up, very long mute cable. So that goes down and under over to the mute switch. And then the signal cable comes through and out from the pedal board up to the amp, and then the power cable from the amp goes down and into the power strip that's in there. So I think you get the idea of what I'm going for here. And really happy with the way this turned out. Also, I don't know if you can see, but I do have the rubber feet on the bottom just to give it a little isolation from the stage. So there we go. 9.5 inches of extra height as well.